If you're new to Facebook ads and want a step-by-step guide to running profitable campaigns, you're in the right place. Whether you're running an e-commerce brand, a Shopify store, or a service-based brand business, I'll break down the exact framework that top brands use to generate consistent results. And by the end of this video, you'll know how to set up your ad account, choose the right campaigns, create high converting ads, and measure performance and scale profitably. This is the same process that companies typically pay thousands of dollars to agencies like mine, for example. But today, I'm giving it to you for free. Let's dive in with step one, which is to set your core ad account and core campaigns. Before you run any ads, you need a strong foundation. If you're just starting, your ad account is a blank slate, meaning Facebook's algorithm has no data on your ideal customers. You'll need to help Facebook understand your target audience, so here's how to set up your first campaigns. The first one is an Advantage Plus shopping campaign for e-commerce brands and Shopify stores. It's Facebook's most powerful AI-driven campaign, and it's designed to be the most efficient solution for performance-based ads. It works best for broader audiences, combining prospecting and existing customer audiences under one campaign with personalized products from your catalog. And if it's not working, the issue is likely with your creatives or your product, not necessarily the algorithm itself. So I'd recommend A/B testing a few creatives and a few different products if you have them before switching to a different type of ad campaign altogether. The second is a niche interested target campaign. So this targeting campaign further helps train the algorithm to find your ideal customer, including their age, gender, other demographics like location and household income. But make sure you target people based on their interests. For example, fitness for gym brands or entrepreneurship strategies for use with AI softwares. The third campaign is a broad audience campaign. So unlike the Advantage Plus campaign, this one is more of what media buyers call a hands-on keyboard campaign or a manual campaign. It does give Facebook's AI flexibility to find, high quality buyers, but it will require more expertise from advertisers than the previous campaigns would. Okay, step two is understanding key metrics and reporting. So there are many ways to understand the data that you'll be accumulating as your campaigns run, some of which won't matter much, but most data you want to take a look at to see if you can improve on it. But if you can't improve what you don't measure, so here are the essential metrics you'll want to measure and track. Impressions and reach, or how many times your ad is seen. Click-through rate, or CTR, which indicates how engaging your ad is. Outbound clicks, basically track how many people go to your website, and you'll want to avoid vanity metrics like link clicks, which don't really mean anything, which are kind of disguised as something important sounding, but it's really not. And then conversion rate, which is critical because it shows how many clicks turn into actual sales or leads. And return on ad spend, or ROAS, which is how much revenue was actually generated per dollar spent. A pro tip that I use for my client campaigns is to organize your ads manager with custom reporting columns to basically quickly analyze performance of the campaign. So you'll want to make sure, you put impressions, click-through rate, outbound clicks, conversions, and ROAS as the first few columns that you can measure the data consistently, without having to search for it. Step three is basically a campaign structure and retargeting. So Facebook ads allow you to create a full marketing funnel. So take advantage of basically all the offerings that they have, which include top of funnel, or tofu, which is prospecting campaigns that can lead to reaching new customers. Middle of funnel, which is more of a retargeting campaign to engage your warm leads. And bottom of funnel, which are conversion focused campaigns to close those sales. And just so you know, a lot of advertisers stopped running retargeting in 2024, but in 2025, it's making a strong comeback. So I've started running more retargeting campaigns for a few of my clients, and they've been able to see results as well. A good example for when to use retargeting is if someone visits your website but doesn't buy, show them a retargeting ad with a customer testimonial or a limited time offer, which should entice them to at least reconsider making a purchase. Okay, step 4 is your creative strategy. What ads work in 2025? Your creative is the number one factor that will determine if your ads suck or not. So if your creative is dope, your ad will make you a lot of money. But make sure you're doing what works now, which are the following: static image ads. Yes, static images still work great for ads and probably always will, honestly. But just make sure you stick to us versus them, meaning compare your brand to a competitor of yours to see, how what you're running stacks up to what they're running, basically. I've also done a lot of before and after creative tests, which show like transformation of the ad. So these are perfect for like fitness, beauty, home improvement, or like any brand that has a product that you can show how much better it is when you have it than versus when you don't. And I've been experimenting with text message or comment style ads this year also. These basically look like organic conversations or just raw social media posts, which lead to, increased engagement because the ad doesn't necessarily look like it's trying to sell something, right? So I found that I get a lot of comments on these types of ads because they're a lot more natural. Video ads, these are still king in my experience. Everyone loves a good video, and if you're a beginner, you'll want to start out with a founder story. And the best way to do that is to just connect with your customers by telling your brand's vision and your brand's mission. You'll also want to include a product breakdown video, which basically can explain your product's benefits in a direct and engaging way. And point of view style content is really taking off right now, where again, it feels more organic. It blends with user generated content and doesn't stick out for the wrong reasons. Also, carousel and dynamic ads work well still. Carousel ads work great when showcasing multiple products or features in that scrollable format. Like when we run cannabis ads on Twitter X, we can show an example of each product that we provide, which can include joints, edibles, concentrates, where vapes and flower or nugs aren't necessarily allowed to be shown just yet. But with the hope for legalization of cannabis, it might still happen soon. And dynamic product ads have been working for us also. These kind of ads automatically show users the product that they viewed on the site. So if they click on an eighth of flour, for example, from cookies, the user will see an ad with the exact same eighth of flour, possibly the next time they're scrolling on social media or on Google, if it were legal, of course. Nowadays, cannabis brands create ads for edibles or even pre-rolls that I see more commonly because they just look like, brown cigarettes kind of. And people aren't necessarily afraid to at least click on the link or the ad itself and check it out, even if they don't purchase. That's what you want to do for your potential customers, right? Is that you want to get them to show interest in just that initial click. All right, now step number 5 is audience strategy and targeting. So instead of relying on just one audience type, mix it up. Include some broad audiences, which let Facebook's AI find buyers for you. Some lookalike audiences, which target people's, similar interests to your best customers, and some retargeting audiences, which focus on people who you've interacted with your brand before, especially if you're running an e-commerce store or a Shopify, which has some integrations that make audience targeting seamless by just syncing your customers' purchase data. Step 6 are some optimization and scaling strategies that I've used. But scaling requires a little bit of patience and the right approach in my experience. So here are 2 proven methods that have worked for our clients. The first one is the 25% scaling rule. So a rule of thumb that I use to increase their budget by 25% every few days to avoid resetting the learning phase. So resetting the learning phase will just push back the time it takes, for Facebook to really understand your ad and the audience that you're trying to put it in front of. Second one is the double up method, which if an ad is performing well, double the budget and monitor performance for 2 to 3 days. If performance drops, lower the budget back down, and it's basically that simple. And if you're wondering when to kill an ad, in my experience, if an ad underperforms for basically 3 to 4 days, pause it and test new creatives. Always have a few different versions of creatives on hand and refresh your creatives to prevent any ad fatigue. And step 7 are advanced strategies for growth. So product specific and collection campaigns. Basically, these run separate campaigns for individual products or product categories. creative diversification, separate static only and video only campaigns to let Facebook optimize them independently, and customer profile based, which are targeting identify secondary audiences that share traits with your best customers. For example, a rug brand that scaled from 100 million to 500 million by expanding from dog owners to cost conscious shoppers and sustainability focused buyers. Now you have the exact framework for launching and scaling Facebook ads in 2025. But knowledge alone isn't enough. It's all about execution. So for your next steps, if you want all of the steps I talked about in this video in one place, download my free Facebook ad starter guide with the link in the description, and drop a comment below with your biggest struggles with Facebook ads, or honestly any other questions that you might have. And like this video and subscribe for more Facebook ads and other digital marketing strategies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.